Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Mahesh, and rest of the organizers at C Sharp. And welcome to the session on Power Virtual Agent. The title is Zero to Hero in Power Virtual Agents in 50 minutes. Who am I? My name is Prashant G Bhoyar. I was born and raised in India. I came to United States in 2007 for studies. I am University of Maryland College Park alumni. I co-authored a book, PowerShell for Office 65. I also acted as a technical reviewer for the book Pro SharePoint 2013 Administration. I am from Washington D.C. area, and we organize a lot of community conferences. Pre-COVID-19 pandemic, most of the conferences used to be in person, but now we have converted all our conferences to virtual only. So if you are interested, we frequently post the upcoming information about upcoming conferences on the meetup.com, and we have 3 meetups. One is on AI machine learning, second one is on Microsoft 65, and third one is on SQL and big data. And couple of conference dates I have listed here. Those going to be free virtual conferences. One is coming up called Global AI Fest. It's going to be on 25th of June. And the second one is Azure Data and AI Fest, which is going to be on 12th of November. As I mentioned, if you're interested in joining us, do check out us on meetup.com. I am a recipient of Antarctic Service Medal, and I'm also recipient of Microsoft MVP Award since 2017. Now, those of you who are not familiar with this award, I don't work for Microsoft. It's just the additional recognition that Microsoft gives out to the folks who does technical contribution, and those technical contributions can be in the form of writing books, uh, creating training contents, speaking at various conferences, answering people's questions at various public forums, and also providing direct feedback to the Microsoft product group. And this award is valid only for 12 months. And after every 12 months, you have to apply for renewal. And during renewal, then you have to submit all your contributions that you have done in previous 12 months. So for the first 2 years, I was an MVP in Office 65 apps and services. And since 2019, I changed my category to AI. And right now, I work as Senior Solution Architect at Withum, where I focus on intelligent business process automation. And in that, I use variety of the stacks or products in Microsoft ecosystem, starting with Azure AI, bots, Azure core services, Microsoft 65 Teams, Power Platform, where in Power Platform, we use a lot with Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agent. And as I mentioned, I'm from Washington, D.C. area, and I worked at Withum's Washington, D.C. office. This is the quick information about our company. We have 2 Microsoft MVPs on the staff right now, and we have done 100 plus deployments in Microsoft ecosystem. And we have 50 plus consultants dedicated to Microsoft ecosystem only. Withum is a big company. We have more than 1,000 employees, and out of that, 50 are dedicated to Microsoft ecosystem. And we are providing services in Microsoft ecosystem from last 17 years. And these are some of the capabilities that we have. And we are growing. We are actively looking for candidates in USA and as well as in India as well. In India, we have office in Bangalore. So if you are looking for a change and if you reside either in USA or in India, do reach out to me. We have plenty of exciting opportunities. As I mentioned, if you're interested in joining us for future events, do check us out on meetup.com. So now let's talk about the session. So this is going to be a 100-level session. We will start with why bots. Then we'll talk about if you have to create bots, what are some of the options available to us in Microsoft ecosystem. Then we will dive deep into what Power Virtual Agents are, how to get started, what are some of the key concepts or functionalities are there. And then we'll talk about what's the story between Microsoft Flow and Power Virtual Agent is. We'll have demos, key takeaways, Q&A. So I know we are using a live stream for this. So feel free to post your questions in the YouTube chat. Along with me, Simon is also there who's monitoring the chat window so we can answer your questions. So this is the mission statement from Microsoft. They would like to make data science and AI accessible to everyone. And it doesn't matter what your role is or what kind of device you're using. And some of the services that are coming from Microsoft actually aligns very closely with this mission statement. So now let's talk about why bots, like why we should bother about creating bots nowadays. Bots are not new. We have been interacting with bots, let's say, from last 10 to 15 years. But suddenly, in last 1 or 2 years, we have seen a surge in usage of self-service bots. One of the reason for that is bots provide you more natural human computer interaction. We can automate a lot of repetitive tasks and free up the resources, and that's one of the reason why bots are getting very popular in the enterprise space, especially in the help desk department, where if you ask any help desk person, typically they will tell you that out of 100 requests, 40 or 50 requests are very, very basic requests that can be solved very easily. And there, in those kind of scenarios, we can use bots for that, so that will free up the valuable time from the actual human agents, and they can then focus on more complicated tasks, which are a little bit complicated for bots to handle as of today. Bots are available all the time, and depending on what kind of product or service you have used to implement bot, your bot can be available wherever you are. That means if you're driving, if you're on your mobile, the bot can be available. But if the implementation is done right, bot adapts to the user depending on the circumstances. And also, bots are a little bit shiny because bots are new. And if you have done implementation right, it simplifies the UI as well. And if you go with Microsoft ecosystem, and if you create a chatbot or a voice-based bot, then you can deploy that bot across multiple channels. Now, those of you who are familiar with Microsoft Teams, don't get confused with the channel in the context of Teams versus the channel in the context of bots. So channel in the context of bots means different product and services. That means if I create a bot using Microsoft offerings, then I can deploy that bot not only to Microsoft ecosystem products like Outlook or Slack or Teams or other products, but I can also deploy it to other non-Microsoft products like Slack, Twilio, Facebook, etc. And also, if you there is a lot of study has been done in the industry is if your organization has a wider uh, age group, then if you are using bots, then the younger users sometimes feel more they find it more comfortable to interact with bots as compared to interacting with actual human agent. So it may help you to connect with the young users as well. And bots are not new. Like, we are familiar with bots in our personal life. In fact, if you are a customer of major financial institution like Bank of America, Citigroup, HSBC Bank, and if you call their customer service number, the chances are the first line of defense from this financial institution is a voice-based bot. That bot will ask you questions, and depending on your answers, that bot may give you answers right away, or it may connect you to the human agent. Now, slowly, with all the advancement that is happening in the AI, especially in the commercial space, we are seeing that bots are slowly entering into the enterprise space as well, where more and more companies would like to use bots for their internal processes or internal help desk. Now, if you are interested in implementing bots in your organization, and if you would like to explore the options in Microsoft ecosystem, these are the two options available. By the way, there are plenty of vendors available who provide you off-the-shelf bots. The other Microsoft competitors like Google, Amazon, IBM, they have similar offerings as well. But from here onwards, what we'll be focusing on is the bots or Power Virtual Agent in the Microsoft ecosystem. So if you are in Microsoft ecosystem and if you are interested in implementing the bots, then we have two options. Under software as a service, we have Power Virtual Agents, which we're going to cover in detail today. It provides you a no-code experience for bot development, and it's ideal for business users and domain experts to easily build a bot. This is the link you can go to quickly sign up for the Power Virtual Agent and start creating a bot. And it just takes you maybe less than 30 minutes to have a working bot if you go with a Power Virtual Agent. The other option is Platform as a Service, where we have Microsoft Bot Framework. And it's an open source SDK and tools, and it's built for the custom bot development. And it's ideal for developers. And Power Virtual Agent is actually built on the top of Microsoft Bot Framework. So the product group from Microsoft who owns Power Virtual Agent, they have actually used Microsoft Bot Framework to build the product. And this is the link you can go to find more information about the Microsoft Bot Framework. There is another tool called Microsoft Bot Framework Composer. Uh, it is an open source, again, open source tool, and it gives you a visual authoring canvas. So we can develop a multidisciplinary bots, and it can integrate with other Microsoft cognitive services like Q&A Maker, Lois, etc. As I mentioned, it has a visual editing canvas for conversational flows. It has in-context editing for natural understanding, and we can also integrate with Q&A and natural language understanding. And as I mentioned, it's open source, and you can find more information about Microsoft Bot Framework Composer by going to this link. Now, if you had to line up the options that are available in Microsoft ecosystem regarding bots, and this is the pyramid we can follow, where the core of the bots is Microsoft Bot Framework, which is optimized for developers. And Power Virtual Agent is built on the top of Microsoft Bot Framework, and it provides us a no-code bot building experience. And it's optimized for business users. And there is a really good integration story available between Microsoft Bot Framework, like custom bots built using Microsoft Bot Framework and Power Virtual Agent using the bot framework skills. So Microsoft Power Platform is a low-code platform that spans across Office 365, Dynamics 365, Azure, and standalone application. And you may be already familiar with Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. And recently, maybe 1.5 years before, Microsoft introduced Power Virtual Agent as one of the offerings under Power Platform. And we use Power Virtual Agents to create intelligent, no-code chatbots. So this is the mission statement of Power Virtual Agent. Empower your people to drive more business value through easy to create natural conversational AI. And Microsoft Power Virtual Agent is built on the top of Azure AI services and bot framework. So you as a developer, you as a creator of the bot doesn't have to worry about the AI services. All that difficult part of selecting and using the AI services and adding the AI support is all done by Microsoft. So all we do is we just use Power Virtual Agents, and we just start creating our business logic. And there is a really good integration story available. Like in case you had to call any external service, then we can call Power Automate from a Power Virtual Agent. And since there are like more than 300 connectors available with Power Automate, basically we have access to this connector via Power Virtual Agents only. And the way we can do that is our bot will call Power Automate, and then Power Automate, then we will use any of these connectors, and then you can implement your business logic. So Power Virtual Agents gives us a very easy to use authoring canvas, as you can see in the screen here. And it's a graphical user interface which we can use to quickly create a bot. And it also remembers the user responses. For example, if I'm interacting with a bot, and if I interacted today for few minutes, and again I interacted again after a few minutes, then the Power Virtual Agent will remember the user responses, and then will be intelligent enough to give us a better responses. So we can start from the scratch, or we can also start using some of the suggested topic in the Power Virtual Agent. And for the suggested topic, we can use the information that is publicly available. Like if you have your company's information available publicly on a public facing URL, you can use that, or you can also use information from your FAQs database as well. We can avoid the repetitive conversation using the authoring canvas. And once you create your bot using Power Virtual Agent, you can deploy it to anywhere. Like these are the list of channels that are supported right now, and Microsoft is working hard to add the support for the additional channels as well. Like for example, when you create your first bot using Power Virtual Agent, it is already available on a demo website, but you can also integrate that with Microsoft Teams, with Telegram, with Facebook, Slack, direct line, Skype, or you can put it on your custom website as well. And it has the inbuilt analytics as well in the form of Power BI. Like whatever, so the Power BI reports will show you the analytics in terms of like how many sessions that bot had, whether your users were satisfied with bot or not, and also it will have the information about billing as well. So with that, let me show you a quick demo of the Power Virtual Agent. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat window. So for this, what you can do is open your favorite browser and go use your favorite search engine and then just search for Power Virtual Agents. And the link we are looking for is this one, powervirtualagents.microsoft.com. And once the link opens, you can sign in here. And by the way, if you don't have any, don't have right now the license for Power Virtual, it's okay. You can start with the trial as well. So click on sign in here. And once it's load, then I will show you the rest of the part. Typically is not that slow. Looks like since I'm using my browser to stream this session, my machine is crapping out. Otherwise, typically it is not that it is not that it is not that slow. All right, so this is the window you'll get, and here you see like whatever the last bot you created, the screen will show you that. And here on this screen, if you click on this icon, which has a little bit bot icon or called bots panel, if you click on here you will see all the bots that you have created, and here you can also see the environments that you have. By the way, give me a minute. I just need to take care of my son in a minute. I will be back. All right, sorry about that. So let's say if this is the first time you're creating the bot, then what you need to do is click on this button called new bot. And what it will do is it will open up the window to create a new bot. And then you can give it a nice friendly name. So let's call it as my first EVA bot. And then you can select the languages. Under languages, if you expand this, so majority of the common languages are available, and some of them are like, and right now 5 languages are available in preview, and rest of the languages which you can see in the drop down are available, like generally available. So in this case, I'll be going with English US. And the next thing, the environment is very important. Like if you are familiar with if you have used Power Platform products like Power BI or Power Apps or like Power Automate, then we can have multiple environments, and using the environments, you can have your application lifecycle management, or you can also have your DLP policies. So same thing we can do with with Power Virtual Agent as well. So make sure you select the right environment. By default, it will be showing the default environment. But if you have multiple environments in your tenant, then you will be seeing that as well. But make sure you select the right one and then click create. And once you click create, the entire operation of creating your bot may take up to 1 to 5 minutes. Now we are not going to do that right now because it will consume basically eats up a majority of the time from this talk. So what I will do is I have already created a bot, and I will just show you that. And this is my bot. Like if I go to the bot's homepage here, this is what I will see, where you will see in the left-hand navigation, the topics, the entities, the analytics, publish, and under manage. If I expand here, I will see the details, the channel, security, skills, and AI capabilities. And if I scroll towards the right, I will see the information. Like if I scroll down, I will see some really good documentation from Microsoft, like PVA documentation. There are some videos as well, where you can follow those videos, the steps mentioned in the video, and have your working bot within few minutes. And one of the most important thing I would like to mention here is this support community. Like the one thing which is really great about Microsoft product, especially with the Power Platform products, is each product has their own community site, where you can go and ask questions. And so far right now, the average trend is if you post a question, you will get an answer within 24 hours. And the answers will be really good one, because there will be some folks from the community who will be providing the answers, and also some folks from Microsoft as well. So if you ever get stuck with Power Virtual Agent, you can always go to the support community and then post your question. And on the home screen, you also see this UI where we can test the bot using in this same user interface as well. Now, what we'll be doing next is talking about some of the key concepts that come with the Power Virtual Agent. So one of the key concept is topics. So topics are the are like the backbone of your chatbot that's built using Power Virtual Agent. And every bot comes with some predefined topics, and you can add your own topic as well. So to add a new topic, you just have to click on a new topic here. And then give it a name. Let's call it as Ignite 2021. And then you can provide some description and friendly name. And then you can start entering the trigger phrases. Now, trigger phrases are the one which, let's say, if I am a user who's interacting with the bot, if I use any of the trigger phrases that are listed in this topic, then this particular topic will get triggered. And in this topic, I will have my business logic. So if you are coming from the development background, then you can consider topic as a function. So you can have or a class like inside your function or a class. Then you can have your separate business logic. Same is the scenario here. If you are not a developer, and if you're coming from a power user background, then treat topics as a subsection. Like you have your main bot, and within your bot, then you have subsections. So topics actually acts on a similar way. So here I have already created a topic, so I'm going to quickly walk you through that. And let me go to the topics again. That's fine. I want to leave from this one. So the topic I have created here is a very simple one. So ever since COVID-19 pandemic has started, pretty much entire workforce who can work remotely is working remotely now. And that has poses a lot of challenge to the IT help desk. So the topic, the scenario I would like to simulate here is we have this work machine topic. And this topic will get triggered whenever a user or employee of your firm is having issues with his or her laptop or machine. And these are some of the trigger phrases I have used, like computer not starting, machine not starting, slow laptop, slow computer, computer not working, my machine is slow. Now, you may be asking why we have to use multitude of trigger phrases. The reason is when you are implementing chatbots, we are trying to mimic the conversation your user will have with actual human agent. And when it comes to communicating, we humans can ask the same question in a multiple way. For example, if I'm really good friends with you, I can ask you, hey, how are you? Or yo, what's up? Or I can use any other lingo that I'm familiar with. Same thing is there, like same kind of scenario we would like to mimic here with chatbots as well. Like if I am a user and if I have an issue with my machine and if I'm interacting with the bot, I may ask that question in a multiple ways. I can just say my computer is slow, or my computer is not starting, my machine is slow, something like that. And again, Microsoft recommend we should have at least 5 to 10 drivers, key phrase, trigger phrases, but you can also add more as well. And the next important thing is authoring canvas. So if a user is interacting with this with a bot, and if the user uses any of these trigger phrases, then this particular topic will get a trigger, and then it will use the same business logic that we have in this authoring canvas. So the business logic I have here is very, very simple. I didn't try to make it very complicated. All right, it's taking more time than expected. The reason is my machine is a little bit slow. That's why. Otherwise, this gets loaded pretty fast. I will wait. All right, it's loading now. So as you can see, in the top, we have all the trigger phrases are listed. And then there is a message. Again, we can customize this message. And the way I customize is I have added, I'm sorry to hear that you're having with your work machine. And what I have done next is, and while adding the message, as you can see, we can make the text bold or italics. We can add the bulleted list, numbered list, and we can also have the hyperlinks. And this little variable X you'll see is here to insert the variables. Now I will talk about those variables a little bit later. But this is the message, welcome message we have. And then after that, straight away, I'm asking a question to the bot. Now, if I click here, if I would like to modify this business logic, then what I have to do is in between these two message and question, and on this line, hover on this line and wait for that plus icon, and which is called add a node, and click on that. And once I click on that, then I will see all the options that are available. I can either ask a question, or I can add a condition, or I can do a call and action. And when it comes to ask a question, I have multiple options here. All right. I'm going to turn off my camera. Let's see if that's going to improve the performance on my machine. All right, it looks like it did. So here I have option, like when it comes to adding the question, I can either add multiple choice option, and or I can add the user entity response, age, Boolean, city, color, continent, country or region, duration, event, language, money. So there are like a lot of other options available. And you see here, the search option is also there. So if you're looking for something, you can quickly search for it. For example, if I search for URL, then you are here, I can see the URL here. So let me exit out of this, and let me delete this. Okay. And looks like turning off video also didn't improve much, but it's okay. Let me go back and start from the beginning. And while I'm doing that, let me quickly cover a few of the slides that will be helpful in the interest of time. All right. All right, so we were showing you the demo. Then let's cover some of the important concepts. So we can create the personalized customer experience using Power Virtual Agent, and we also have ability to transfer the control to an actual human agent, because no matter what, how smart your bot is, still the parity that we have when it comes to the AI, it still doesn't match. We still don't have the AI services which can match the human capabilities. So there will be instances where your bot will not be able to answer the question, and in that time you may want to transfer the control to the human agent. And the way to do that using Power Virtual Agent, we can use Dynamic 65 omnichannel for customer service, and we can also do the handoff to a generic live chat provider as well. And as I mentioned, we can extend the bot capabilities with Azure Bot Service. As I mentioned, Power Virtual Agent is like just 1.5 years old, and Microsoft Bot Framework is there from last 4 or 5 years. And if you are early adopters of Microsoft Bot Framework, and if you already have rolled out custom bot using Microsoft Bot Framework, and if you would like to integrate that with Power Virtual Agent, you can do that via Bot Framework skills. When it comes to integration with authentication provider, you can integrate any authentication provider, and that authentication provider can be Microsoft, Google, Facebook, or custom authentication provider, as long as it's using the modern authentication protocols using OAuth. And Power Automate is going to be your gateway to the outside world. So let's say if you have to call any external web service, or if you have to do something outside of your bot, then the way you can do that is via Power Automate. And one of the good thing is the access to Power Automate is already included as part of your Power Virtual Agent queue. And we can create flows using Power Virtual Agent connector. We can call flows to perform actions. And we can connect to any third-party service or data source using premium flow connectors as well. And okay, so now with that, let's see if this is back. Okay, I'm back in the topics now, so I can show you this one. Okay, perfect. Let's go to the work machine, and let's go to the authoring canvas. This is much better performance. All right, so the experience I'm having here is if I'm interacting with the bot, and if I mention any of these trigger phrases that my computer is not starting, my machine is slow, then this particular topic will get triggered, and whatever the business logic I have in this topic will get activated. So the first thing I'm doing as part of the business logic is I'm showing a message like, I'm sorry to hear that you're having issues with your work machine. Then I'm asking a very genuine question. Did you reboot your machine? Because we all know, especially this is true with Windows machine, is if you reboot your machine, chances are majority of your problems will get resolved. And if the user select yes, and so there are two options. User can select yes or no. If the user say yes, I have rebooted the machine, then the next question I'm asking is, are you stuck? Whether it's an emergency situation or not. And if you say yes, he is stuck, then the next question I'm asking is, what's your email? And once the user provides the email, I'm actually calling a Power Automate, which is sending an email to the help desk with relevant information. So the help desk person can then reach out to that particular user and resolve the issue really quickly. Now let's see how exactly we can test this. So we have this business logic, and here you see on the bottom left side of the screen, we see test your bot. So let's click on that. So once I click on that, I can test this bot right away in the same Power Virtual Agents UI itself. So let's start with me saying hello. Okay, it's getting the welcome message, and this welcome message you can customize it. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be straight up asking, like mentioning that I am having issues with my machine. My machine is slow. And if the sentence I'm using has any of the trigger phrases, then the topic that we have gets triggered. And here I can debug this runtime. So as you can see, uh, in the right hand section, right now I'm showing this. I'm debugging this particular business logic runtime. So I can see here, if I scroll on the top, this particular topic got triggered, and then this is the message has been shown, and then the bot is asking the question, did you reboot your machine? And these are the choices as a user I'm getting. So if I click yes, then the bot is going further with the business logic, and the next question I'm asking is, are you stuck? So before answering this question, let me show you this particular panel here. So here, if I click on this variable watch, so I can see the runtime values of the variable, and this comes really handy because you may want to like during the troubleshooting or during the testing this bot, you want to check what kind of values that are getting passed in the variables. uh, if I select, are you stuck? Yes. Then the next thing is doing as per our business logic, it's going to ask us the email address. Now, what I'll be doing is I won't be providing my email address as such. I'll be adding some additional content to it because I would like to see if the AI services that this Power Virtual Agent is using in the backend is intelligent enough to extract the email from the complete sentence I will be writing. So my email address is okay. Let's click that. And if everything is right, then sooner or later I will get an email address, and that email address will be get sent by the Power Automate. So here you can see we can have really good integration between Power Virtual Agents and Power Automate. All right. The next thing is there regarding the login. Now I wanted to show you how exactly the authentication will work in the bot. So if you would like to, if there is a scenario where you're interacting with your user, but you would like to authenticate for some security reasons, you can do that as well. And as I mentioned in the previous slides, for the authentication, we can use authentication in Microsoft ecosystem, Google, or any other provider, as long as they support the modern authentication protocols. So if I click on login here, then it will give me a code. So if I click copy here, and if I paste the code, and if the code is correct, then the bot will know that I'm an authenticated user, and it will come back with some information which only it can show to the authenticated users. So as you can see here, the message I'm getting is you are logged in, and it's showing me my display name. So as you can see, it pulled my name from my Active Directory, and then it's asking me, did I answer your question? I just click yes. And then it's asking me to provide the experience. I'm just going to rate my experience here. Number 5. No, thank you. And the conversation is ended here. All right. Let's see what's some of the next content I would like to show you in the slides. Right, we talked about this. All right. So these are some of the important announcements that happened regarding the Power Virtual Agent during the Ignite last week. So in case if you are not watch the recordings, I definitely urge you to go to the Ignite site and you can watch the recordings now. So one of the main announcement they made is they announced a new open source low code programming language called Microsoft PowerFX. Now there are a lot of announcement happened, but I'm just covering the announcement in the context of Power Virtual Agent. Now why the Microsoft PowerFX is important if you're interested in Power Virtual Agent. The reason is, so the Power FX will be soon available for other Microsoft Power Platform product as well. Right now, it is available already in Power Apps, Canvas apps, but slowly, sooner or later, it's get rolled out to other Power Platform products like Power Virtual Agent. Like right now in Power Virtual Agent, we don't have support for any programming language. And then there, Microsoft will add the support for Power FX so that we can implement some additional complex business logic inside that. The second announcement is related to the topic overlap detection. So these are update related to the AI offerings where we can find the overlaps between multiple topics. And also, depending on the chat transcripts between your users and the bot, you'll also get some suggested topics as well. So you can add that in case if you don't have that. So with that, let me show you some additional things that I wanted to show you. And let me check how are we doing on the time-wise. I think we still have 5 to 10 minutes. So let me show you real quick regarding the analytics. So every chatbot comes with the pre-built analytics. You don't have to do anything for it. It's already there for you. You just have to go to the analytics section, and then a Power BI report will get generated for you. And here you can find out the summary, the information about the customer satisfaction, how many sessions you had with your Power Virtual Agent, and also the billing. All right, it's taking longer than expected to load the information. Again, this is my machine and not the regular experience that you will be getting with Power Virtual Agents UI. So if I go to the customer satisfaction, since let me change this maybe to previous month and say if I haven't, if I use this, then looks like I haven't interacted with this bot at all. That's why I won't say this. The next thing I wanted to show you is the security. So if I go to the security, and if I would like to configure the authentication, then I have multiple options for that. So here under authentication, every bot will come as a no authentication, which will be by default. You can also add the authentications for Teams only. Or you can also, in that case, your bot will only available within the Microsoft Teams only. Or you can also select the manual authentication. And here you can select the service provider. Like you can go with the Azure Active Directory. Or if you don't want to interact with Azure Active Directory, if you have your own proprietary authentication provider, or if you would like to integrate with Google Authentication or Facebook, then you just select a generic OAuth 2, and then you configure the rest of the things. So here I have selected Azure Active Directory V2, and here I'm using the combination of client ID and client secret. Now, if you are a power user, don't have to worry about all this stuff. You can work with your IT admin and get this configured because configuring this is not that difficult. You just need to have right access in your Azure Active Directory. You need to register an app, get the required information, come to this portal, add that, and voila, you have authentication support for your bot. The next thing I would like to show you is under publish, under manage the channel. So by default, as I mentioned, the bot is available as a demo website, but you can deploy that to Microsoft Teams, custom website, and these are the channels that are supported right now. And if I click on a demo website right now, so this is the site I can use, I will have to test my bot. So if I go to this particular site, I can have this bot already added to this site, and I can test it here. One of the important advantage of this is if you are developing a bot and you would like to quickly share with your internal users for them to try it out. Then you can share the link of this demo website with them. They can interact with the bot, and they can provide you the feedback. So let me see. My machine is slow. Yes, I reboot the machine. Are you stuck? Yes, I'm stuck. Let me provide my email. And if everything is right, then it will answer the question. Yes. Perfect. So as you can see, I can interact with this bot using a demo website as well. And if I would like to deploy this, I can deploy that to my own custom website as well. So if I click on the custom website, all I get is the embedded code. And I just need to copy this. And the way this work is, it uses the iframe. And I can add this iframe to any other location. I can add this iframe in SharePoint page, or I can add it any other site or web page I'm using. It can be ASP.NET page or build using any other language. Okay, let's see. I know we are coming towards the end of the talk, so let me show you. Let me cover a few of the other things that I wanted to cover. So if you are interested, you can go to this link and try out the Power Virtual Agent. As I mentioned, you can start for free. And one thing I didn't mention is, if you are familiar with Microsoft Teams, Microsoft announced a new offerings called Dataverse for Teams. And using Dataverse for Teams, you can create the chatbots built using Power Virtual Agents for free. So Power Virtual Agents come with two flavor. One, which is free layer, which comes with Dataverse for Teams, where if you create a chatbot, it will only works in the context of Microsoft Teams. But if you go with full-blown Power Virtual Agent, you can use that bot across multiple channels. Like it can be used in Teams, and it can also be used in Facebook on public-facing website or any other website as well. So when it comes to the bots and Microsoft ecosystem, these are my personal thoughts. If you go with Power Virtual Agent, it's very easy to create and test the bots. When it comes to the Microsoft Bot Framework, you have a steep learning curve. The ideal audience for Power Virtual Agents is power users and IT pros. Whereas to use Microsoft Bot Framework, you need to be a developer. The maintenance and enhancement is easy with Power Virtual Agent. The maintenance and enhancements are a little bit cumbersome with Microsoft Bot Framework. You don't have to worry about any of the AI services when you go with Power Virtual Agent. Microsoft has already taken care for that you. However, if you go with Microsoft Bot Framework, you need to integrate various AI services with your bot to make your bot intelligent. There is inbuilt support for analytics there. Here in Microsoft Bot Framework, that support is not there. You have to use some other products like App Insights. However, if you are using full-blown Power Virtual Agent, then it's a little bit expensive to begin with. And right now, there is no easy way to manage the cost across the department. If you look at the licensing of Power Virtual Agent, is based on how many sessions you have, and you have upfront cost that you have to pay per month. Whereas if you go with Microsoft Bot Framework, it is inexpensive to begin with. However, you need to take into account a lot of other services, like where you're going to host your bot. What are some of the AI services you will be using? Then you have to integrate those AI services in your bot, and then finally you will have your bot ready. In case if you're interested, starting with playing with Power Virtual Agent, there is a really good program from Microsoft called Microsoft 365 Developer Program. So go to that link and you can sign up for free. And once you sign up, you can create your personal Microsoft 365 Developer subscription for free. It comes with E5 licenses, which is the highest top licenses right now, and it comes with 25 users. And this tenant is valid for 90 days. And if you are using this tenant for your personal training and development, after 90 days, Microsoft will graciously increase your trial period for another 90 days. And they will keep continue doing it as long as you are using this tenant for training and development, and this program is active. Another way to get the Microsoft 365 is through signing up for the trial. The reason I'm saying the Microsoft 365 is once you have this tenant, You can use Dataverse for Dream, which is already included. And you can also sign up for the trial version of Power Virtual Agent as well using the account that you'll be getting through this Microsoft 365 developer program. In case if you're interested in exploring bot framework, and if you would like to deploy that in Azure, then you need to have Azure subscription. And these are various ways you can get the Azure subscription. So hopefully the contents we covered today made you explore the Power Virtual Agents. You will go home and play with it. And if you don't have access to a developer tenant, then definitely check out the developer program from Microsoft. So these are the things we covered today. And these are the references I use. With that, I come to the end of the talk. Feel free to post any questions you have in the chat window. And if you have any feedback or if you would like to get in touch with me in future, these are my contact details. With that, thank you very much for coming. Stay safe and stay healthy.